The green and white army. What a time to be alive if you're a Celtic supporter. The roar of Parkhead, the pride, the pulse. Everything feels alive again. Welcome back to Celtic Central News, where passion meets the pitch and where every goal, every tackle, every decision is dissected with that fiery Celtic spirit. First off, a massive shout out to everyone who's joined the family recently. You're part of something special here, and together, we keep the heart of Celtic beating strong. Now, let's dive straight into the latest buzz making waves across the footballing world. Over the last few weeks, there's been no shortage of chatter about who's next in line to take charge of the hoops. Since Martin O'Neill stepped back in to steady the ship, Celtic have looked revitalized. The energy on the pitch has been infectious, the players sharper, hungrier, and playing with that unmistakable pride in the badge. Big wins against Falkirk and that stunning display against Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup. That's the kind of Celtic football fans have been craving. O'Neill's influence is clear, his leadership as commanding as ever, even at 73 years of age. It's as if he's turned back the clock to the glory days, and the boys are feeding off his experience and passion. But, of course, the big question still hangs in the air like mist over the Clyde. Who will take over permanently if O'Neill decides not to stay on full-time? Rumors have been flying faster than a James Forrest sprint down the wing, and everyone seems to have their own favorite for the job. From what's been going around, there are two names that keep popping up as the front-runners, Xander Knutsen and Kieran McKenna. Both men have been making waves in their own right and have now been heavily linked to the Celtic hot seat. Knutsen, the Norwegian mastermind from Bodo/Glimt, has built a reputation as one of Europe's most progressive and fearless coaches. Under his leadership, Bodo/Glimt didn't just dominate in Norway, they made their mark across the continent. For league titles, deep runs in European competitions, and a footballing philosophy that emphasizes pace, precision, and relentless attacking play. The man knows how to build a team that plays fearless football, and that's exactly what the Celtic faithful demand. Knutsen's sides don't back down, no matter the opponent, and his cool, tactical mind might be just what the boys need to push forward in Europe again. Then there's Kieran McKenna, young, sharp, and already carving out an impressive reputation for himself south of the border. Taking Ipswich from League One to the Premier League is no small feat, and his ability to develop young players has caught the attention of many clubs. The idea of McKenna bringing that modern, high-pressing, dynamic football to Celtic Park is an exciting one. He's got that hunger, that modern approach, and, perhaps most importantly, a deep admiration for what Celtic stands for. Word is, he's more than interested in the challenge. Now, while both names carry weight, it's important to remember that O'Neill still holds the cards. He's in the driver's seat, as they say, and he's earned that right. The transformation under his watch has been nothing short of remarkable. You can see it in the players' faces. Belief has returned. The pressing is sharper, the defending tighter, and the attacking play braver. Even the atmosphere in the stands feels different. There's unity again, something that had started to fade towards the end of Brendan Rodgers' time in charge. Speaking of Rodgers, his departure wasn't without its share of tension. Fans were restless, results had dipped, and the spark that once defined Celtic's dominance had started to flicker. Amidst all that, one young name was completely frozen out, Callum Osamand. The teenager arrived from Fulham with bags of potential, seen by many as one for the future, but under Rodgers, he barely got a look in. It was a puzzling situation. Osamand had the energy, the drive, and the raw talent, but for one reason or another, he couldn't break through. Fast forward to O'Neill's return, and everything changed. The new gaffer took one look at Osamand in training and decided to throw him straight into the deep end. No hesitation, no waiting around. And what a decision that turned out to be. Coming off the bench in the League Cup semi-final against Rangers, the lad made an instant impact, grabbing a goal and lighting up Hampden Park. You could see what it meant to him. Pure emotion, years of hard work, and the joy of finally proving his worth. That's the magic of football right there. But it does raise questions, doesn't it? Why was such talent being overlooked before? Some say Rodgers' focus had drifted, with too much attention on the transfer market and not enough on the players already in the dressing room. Others, like Stephen Naismith, have pointed to Celtic's packed fixture list, suggesting that maybe the heavy schedule left little room for risk-taking or experimentation. Whatever the reason, It's clear that Osamand's situation is a lesson in how quickly fortunes can turn in football. Under one manager, forgotten; under another, celebrated. Former players like Chris Boyd have openly wondered how a player that sharp, that ready, could be ignored for so long. It's the kind of scenario that makes you think about confidence, development, and how fragile a young player's belief can be. Charlie Mulgrew, too, made a powerful point. When a manager constantly talks about needing new strikers, it sends a message to those already in the squad. Players start to doubt themselves, to question if they're good enough. Osamand must have felt invisible during that period, watching from the sidelines while the noise around transfers got louder. But the beauty of O'Neill's arrival is that it's reset the tone completely. The slate has been wiped clean. Players are competing again, fighting for their place, and that kind of environment breeds excellence. You can sense that Celtic are finding their identity once more, that aggressive, never-say-die mentality that defines this club. Every time they step onto the pitch now, there's purpose. Every run, every pass, every challenge carries intent. It's the Celtic way. And let's not forget the fans. They've played their part too. Through the highs and lows, the supporters have been the constant heartbeat. You could feel the energy at Hampden when Osamand scored. It was electric, a reminder of why Celtic is more than just a football club. It's family, it's faith, it's history. And right now, that history is being written again, one game at a time, with O'Neill at the helm and a group of players hungry to prove themselves all over again. The story of Celtic right now feels like the beginning of something new, even though it's been built on familiar foundations. Martin O'Neill's influence stretches far beyond tactics. It's about belief, culture, and reminding everyone inside that dressing room what it means to play for this club. You can see it in the way the players speak, the way they celebrate together, and even in the way they react to setbacks. There's a collective fire again, that sense of unity that seemed lost in recent months. The fans sense it too. The songs are louder, the banners brighter, and every match day feels charged with purpose. The team looks like it's playing for something bigger than points. It's playing for pride, for the badge, for the spirit that defines Celtic. When you watch them now, there's a balance between the old and the new. O'Neill has brought back that resilience, that grit that Celtic fans adore, but he's also given young players the confidence to express themselves. Callum Osamand's emergence is a perfect example of that. His story isn't just about one goal in a big game. It's about perseverance, about the belief that opportunity eventually comes if you stay ready. You can tell the boy plays with heart, fearless, hungry, and driven by something deep within. For a teenager to make such an impact in a derby, in front of tens of thousands of supporters, takes courage beyond his years. It's the kind of moment that can define a young career and ignite a spark across the whole squad. And O'Neill's trust in youth sends a powerful message to every player waiting in the wings. Perform, show your worth, and you'll get your chance. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned pro or a young lad still finding your feet. Everyone's starting from the same line now. That kind of environment, where competition is healthy and fair, is exactly what keeps standards sky high. Celtic have always thrived when there's a mix of experience and youthful exuberance, and you can see that blend forming again. Veterans like Callum McGregor are leading with example, while younger faces are stepping up without fear. Still, questions about the managerial future continue to swirl. As the winter months approach, fans can't help but wonder if O'Neill will want to carry this journey forward into next season. The man has already given so much to the club, and at 73, nobody would blame him if he chose to step aside once the storm has settled. But if he does, there's a real sense that Celtic must choose wisely. Both Kjetil Knutsen and Kieran McKenna represent modern football in their own unique ways, and either one could bring fresh ideas without compromising the club's identity. Knutsen's European pedigree and attacking mindset could transform Celtic's approach on the continental stage, while McKenna's youthful energy and tactical insight could usher in a new era of development and consistency. What's crucial now is continuity. Celtic can't afford to lose this momentum. The team's spirit, the connection between players and fans, the renewed sense of purpose, all of it must be protected. The mistakes of the past, where transitions between managers disrupted the rhythm, have to be avoided this time. This feels like a pivotal moment, a crossroads that could define the next few seasons. With the right vision, Celtic can build something lasting, something worthy of its rich history. And speaking of history, it's impossible to ignore the parallels with past eras of rebuilding. Every generation of Celtic supporters has seen the club rise from moments of uncertainty, often stronger than before. The same energy that surrounded O'Neill's first spell seems to be returning now, that belief that anything is possible when everyone pulls in the same direction. You can feel it in the stands, in the songs, even in the way opponents talk about facing Celtic again. The fear is back, the respect is back. For players like Osamand, this period could be career-defining. The trust shown by O'Neill has given him not just a place in the team, but a platform to grow. And for others on the fringes, his story is a reminder that patience and hard work do pay off. Football moves fast, and young players often find themselves caught between hype and disappointment. But Celtic's current environment feels healthier, more grounded. There's emphasis on effort, on attitude, on what you do when nobody's watching and training. That's the kind of culture that breeds champions. It's also been fascinating to see how the senior players have embraced these changes. Rather than feeling threatened by the youth, they seem to be encouraging it. You can see the mentorship happening on the pitch, experienced heads guiding the younger ones through high-pressure moments, helping them understand what it means to wear that famous green and white shirt. This unity, this togetherness, it's priceless. It's what makes Celtic special. Looking ahead, the fixtures will come thick and fast, and the real test will be maintaining this consistency. Winning a cup semi-final against Rangers was massive, not just for bragging rights, but for belief. The league campaign is still wide open, and every match from here on out will demand the same intensity and focus. But there's a feeling around Celtic Park that this team isn't afraid of the grind. They've rediscovered that edge, the mentality that says, we don't just play for 90 minutes, we fight for every blade of grass. As the season rolls on, fans will keep debating who the next long-term manager should be. But for now, the focus is exactly where it should be, on the pitch. The players are responding, the fans are inspired, and the atmosphere feels electric again. Whether it's O'Neill staying on or a new face stepping in, the foundation being built right now could set the tone for years to come. And that's what makes this period so exciting. Celtic aren't just chasing trophies, they're rebuilding an identity, reaffirming what it means to be part of this club. The passion, the fight, the community, it's all coming together again. For the supporters, there's nothing quite like seeing the team play with heart, unity, and pride. For the players, it's a reminder that wearing the Celtic shirt means carrying the weight of history with honor. And for everyone watching, it's proof that no matter how uncertain things get, this club always finds a way to rise again. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. There's a growing buzz in the Scottish football circles, and it's all centered around one name, Xander Clark. The Towering Hearts goalkeeper has reportedly turned down a contract renewal at Newcastle, sparking a wave of speculation that he's set to don the green and white of Celtic. While no official word has come from either club, the rumor mill in Edinburgh and Glasgow is churning at full speed, and sources close to the player suggest his decision was purely footballing. Clark, who's enjoyed a solid spell with Hearts and earned plaudits for his consistency between the sticks, has been on Celtic's radar for months. With Joe Hart nearing the twilight of his career, the Parkhead side have been quietly searching for a long-term successor, and Clark's name has never strayed far from the top of the list. Those in the know claim the 32-year-old shot-stopper was offered improved terms by Hearts, but hesitated when the prospect of Champions League football and a title challenge came calling. One insider hinted that Clark's representatives have already been in advanced conversations with Celtic officials, though, as always, no one's willing to go on record just yet. Fans on both sides have wasted no time weighing in. Hearts supporters are understandably frustrated, seeing the decision as a blow to their ambitions, while the Celtic faithful are already picturing Clark in goal at Parkhead, commanding his box under the European lights. It's worth noting that Clark, a lifelong professional and a proud Scot, has never hidden his desire to test himself at the very top level. Celtic, with their domestic dominance and regular European stage, would represent that step. Whether it's a done deal or just smoke without fire remains to be seen. But in Scottish football, whispers like these rarely surface without some truth beneath. For now, Xander Clark remains a Hearts player, but the silence from both camps speaks volumes. The green half of Glasgow is listening closely, and Newcastle can almost feel the wind shifting. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.